Outdoor education is an opportunity for kids to come outside to a natural outdoor classroom and really see it with their own eyes than seeing it in a book.
Obviously being outdoors.
We're going to learn about science.
Learn through doing.
It's much colder.
To learn about, our environment, what surrounds us.
Understand what's going on in the natural world.
Learning about wildlife.
Learn about the trees.
Learning about nature and learning about how you can help protect it and keep it safe.
I think it makes the environment a lot more important to the kids. If they're aware of what's in nature and what they like about nature and things like that, I think they're more willing to protect it.
Because this is their environment and they need to take care of it.
The Bloomington schools started coming in 1957, and in 1957 they really started a day program, and they just came out for a day where the kids would spend time doing nature activities and then go back to school. And in 1959 had a 5-day residential program approved by the American Camping Association, and they've been running that same 5-day program until present.
I think for the students it's probably about 75% social experience and 25% actually learning. For some of them it's their first time away from home.
And I think they learn a lot how to be independent and apart from their parents, because some of the kids haven't been apart from their parents very often, or not more than a night or something like that.
And some are really surprised that they make it to Friday. It's a great opportunity for them to interact with their teachers on a more social basis, to interact with their peers on a more social basis, and learn so much about sharing, learn so much about how to interact successfully with the people around them.
Bradford Woods really goes on the philosophy, and we build our program around the theme of respect. Respect is really an acronym that stands for responsibility, ethics, science, protection, experience, challenge, and teamwork. And so throughout their experience here at Bradford Woods, we really try to stress those 7 factors: responsibility and responsibility for their environment.
I'm a lot senior.
I'm a lot senior.
Leadership opportunities through services.
It's a model for leadership opportunities of its type in the country, and they come out there. They have a 3-day training during the summer.
We pretty much, the teachers and the staff here, kind of went over how the behavior of 5th graders and how they act and their maturity level. And they taught us how we could take care of them through different situations, like if they were homesick, if someone's hurt, or fights and stuff like that.
And then they'll come out with a certain school, usually the school that they went to elementary school at, and they'll come out and act as a chaperone with those students. They'll get opportunities to lead them through certain activities. They've got opportunities to supervise them and make sure they're safe in the cabins and make sure they're having a good time.
We're kind of like the mediators in between the students and the teachers and the staff.
You take some of the ease off the teachers and you kind of look after the kids, and it helps us with our skills of, learning to deal with young children.
So they come out here, they're counselors, they work with the kids and really make a connection with the kids, both in the cabin and in the field.
I've noticed how many kids don't fit in with the crowd, and that it's important for us to reach out and help those kids.
We're kind of big older siblings to the little kids. A lot of them are pretty close to us now. Some of them are kind of shy, but I think a lot of us are almost like family by now.
I know the kids are enjoying me and I'm enjoying them, and it's pretty fun. It's just sometimes I feel like I'm acting like a 5th grader, so I have to, there's points where I can't be their buddy all the time.
The day for the kids usually starts about 7 is when they're going to wake up. And at 7:30, some of the kids have duties. We do a hopper, weather, and a flag.
Hopper is, we get like, if we have like 190 kids, we have like 19 tables that you can sit 10. And so in each table we need what we call a hopper.
The hoppers are in charge of bringing the food to the table for everyone from the kitchen.
They take milk orders to see who wants what kind of milk and how many.
They're also in charge of setting the tables beforehand and then bringing up all the food, extra food.
In charge of scraping all the leftover foods.
Dishes, silverware, paper and trash at the end of the meal.
Making sure that everything's clean from the time that we started to the time that we ended.
There's also weather, where the kids have an opportunity to go take a weather report. They check the barometer, they check the rainfall, they check the temperature.
Wind from the west at 3 miles per hour. Better than taking a really cold shower.
And then they take this information and then they bring it back into the dining hall where they present a weather skit at the end of breakfast. And then they also do flag duty, where they can go outside, learn a little bit about the American flag.
Does anyone know what the 13 stripes stand for?
And then have an opportunity to unfold the flag and raise the flag.
Indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, good job, girls.
From 9 to 9:30, the kids are going to go back into their cabins, and this is where they're going to have an opportunity to kind of clean up the cabins.
We have to keep it neat for the inspection, and if we don't get the inspection right, we have to clean it up majorly.
And then get ready for the day's activities. At 9:30, we meet for trail activities, and the kids will go out for about 2 hours.
We do a trail lesson in the morning, and that's usually about 2 hours.
And they can do various activities, geology, history hike. They can do wildflowers, wild edibles, aquatic life.
When we do the aquatic life modules, they write down the temperatures of the water, the other tests we do, such as pH levels.
We went down to the creek and we catch critters and crawdads and salamanders.
A lot of the in-between time, we kind of meet at the amphitheater, and a lot of the Lot seniors lead songs and stuff, just to kind of keep the kids entertained while we're switching gears.
From there, they'll usually come back at 11:30, and then we have a hopper duty again at lunch. From 1 o'clock, right after lunch, again, the kids will go out for an afternoon module.
Have another trail lesson for about 2 hours, a recreation for an hour or so.
Either they do capture the flag, friendship bracelets, archery, fishing.
Do some field games or nature hikes or arts and crafts. And after that, they usually get a cabin break because the kids are getting a bit tired by then.
Well, a lot of the people play cards, and the seniors bring snacks.
It's like we just talk, we write in these journals that we made.
And so it's time for them to go back to their cabins, just take a load off their feet, rest a little bit, and then start preparing for dinner. Their evenings can consist of a couple different things.
Then we get into a campfire. It lasts for like an hour and a half.
They can put on their own skits that they've developed with their lot seniors.
Royal papers.
They can do a Dutch auction.
Go, go!
Let's release the panther fall.
Or am I going back?
I applaud that one.
They can do a barn dance where the kids learn different dances and they come together.
Yes! Focus, you partner in
and really have a lot of fun with that. And that's probably about a typical day. After that, about 9:30, they'll get an evening snack and head off to their cabins.
Instincts is a game where they learn about survival.
It's like where you run around and you're either a herbivore, an omnivore, and a carnivore.
If a carnivore comes up to you, and you'll know that they're a carnivore because of what their little band that they're going to be wearing.
Where you each get a couple of cards, life cards.
When they touch you, you have to give up one of your life tags to them. In other words, they just ate you.
We have like these food and water stations tied to trees. They're like blocks of wood that say food and water, and they got to punch this little card. And so then they've got to go around and get their food and water, and they have to survive, and they got little life tags.
Carnivores coming!
Like say a herbivore gets tagged by an omnivore, then they have to give the omnivore one of their cards.
And they learn, you know, their role in this cycle of life as far as the energy cycle.
It was just really cool to see them so excited about it and so engaged, and all these kids in my cabin afterwards were telling me how happy they were that they got to run around and pretend they were herbivores.
We were on an Eagles to the Nest program, which involves looking at eagles' habitats.
Basically, we teach them about the different adaptations that birds would have, whether they were an aquatic versus being woodland birds.
She taught us about how they live and if they're a wetland bird or a forest bird. She said they were a wetland bird, but I didn't really know that. I thought that it was a forest bird because they had talons. I thought only wetland birds had webbed feet. Now I learned something new.
They bring their own experience with them and the knowledge base that they already have, because some of the things they may know already, but they get to really experience it hands-on. Looking at a hawk's wing under a microscope today, that was really cool.
What I like to do after I've taught the different adaptations, such as like their beaks and their talons and their wings and stuff, is to have them kind of make their own bird. And it turns out to be very interesting birds, from like almost monkey kind of birds to little itty-bitty birds that can fly in your ear kind of thing. That's some of the things that kids have come up with.
Action projects here are, it's fun for most of the kids.
Action-oriented means that they want to go out and physically and mentally do something.
Well, we're putting in logs and making where people can step up on those.
Putting in all these different stuff to help people be safe on the trails.
Everybody gets dirty.
The world is full of dirt, and if they get their hands dirty, they're learning what's in it. They're learning what's growing from it.
It's, I think, one of the few times that they feel they have the freedom to do things.
The action projects at Bradford Woods are designed to allow the kids to give back to Bradford Woods.
You tell them the end goal, like how you want the trail to look, and it's amazing how they're also in awe, like the first time they see it, and then by the time that we leave, they see how clean it is.
I think this is the best thing that they've done all week, is working on this trail, because I think that they can put something back into what they're taking out, and they can say, hey, look what we did, we accomplished that trail, and it is better than what it was when we started.
We're just introducing them to a woodland environment. We're not talking about ozone layers, we're not talking about deforestation, we're talking about things that will affect them and things that they're likely to see throughout their lives.
I think it's because it's hands-on, that's a totally different system that we use as opposed to the classroom, and we actually get them more involved.
You have kids who learn in the classroom, sit down and listen to a teacher, but if you actually get the root word of education, it comes from edukere, which means to draw out, which means experiential is them experiencing it, and we as outdoor instructors or educators are here to draw out their learning instead of filling it in.